Fanbyte Media news editor Imran Khan reignited rumors surrounding the future status of Warner Bros.' catalog of video game studios this week by tweeting he's hearing grumblings of Warner Bros.' parent company AT&T once again looking to offload its subsidiary of game developers, with potential to retain IPs with which to then sell the licenses for. Now, I repeat, nothing has been substantiated beyond rumor, but whisperings of Warner Bros. Selling on its considerable gaming talent have been churning since 2020. Most recently during the time Warner Bros. Media was merging with Discovery in May of 2021. Rumors of TT Games and NeatherRealm Studios impending for sale signs gathered momentum before being shut down by the bigwigs at newly merged Warner Bros. Discovery. Perhaps to blame for adding fuel to their own fire, Warner Bros. Announced the sale of mobile games developer Playdemic to EA shortly thereafter. In the sales press release, Warner Bros. Discovery confirmed there were no other developers for sale. Playdemic was to be the only one. Of course, in the nebulous world of mergers and acquisitions, this press release could simply have been published as a three-pronged attack to appease investors, protect share prices, and quash rumors once and for all. Well, less than a year later, and here we go again. In that time frame, we've seen major shakeups in the industry. Microsoft are in the process of finalizing a purchase of Activision Blizzard for an eye-watering $68.7 billion. And in retort, Sony have splashed the cash on Bungie for $3.6 billion. Activision Blizzard's sale price, as stratospheric as it is, represents remarkably good business for Microsoft, not least because the Redmond, Washington-based company have immeasurably deep pockets and thus lassoing leaders in video game publishing and keeping them out of the hands of its competitors is an obvious strategy, but also because the multi-billion-dollar deal fits snugly into Microsoft's long-term vision of significantly bolstering its first-party offerings across PC, console, and mobile, whilst building foundations for eventual expansions into the metaverse. Plus, Activision Blizzard encompasses more than 10,000 talented developers scattered worldwide. In contrast, Sony's acquisition of Bungie looks like a knee-jerk reaction, as if they looked at the news and thought, we'll have some of that. They've paid over the odds for the Destiny developer. It's as simple as that. See, Bungie's annual revenue eclipses $200 million. On a purchase of $3.6 billion, it seems unlikely Sony will recoup any profit. Sony's ambition to become the world's most fully integrated entertainment company is hardly faltering though. Their media portfolio encompasses music and movies, TV, audio equipment, consumer tech, and of course, gaming. Further expanding their video games empire by gobbling up Warner Bros.' disparate studios makes a lot more sense than the Bungie acquisition. Firstly, it would keep those developers, of which Rocksteady Studios, Monolith Productions, and Avalanche Software are a part, out of the hands of their competitors. And we're not just talking about Microsoft here. No, these studios, with esteemed pedigree, such as the Arkham series developers or LEGO games creators, would be an attractive proposition to those media companies that are looking to expand into the sector. It's no secret Apple and Google would love to tap further into the global video games industry. And acquiring a studio let loose by Warner Bros. Discovery would prove a valuable stepping stone. Sony is in a somewhat unique position amongst their competition. Their long-established high status in TV, movies, and video games means they can combine franchises across multiple platforms at a scale that is largely unmatched. Case in point, the Uncharted movie was a collaborative effort between Sony Interactive Entertainment and Sony Pictures. Now, Sony's video games and movie production wings you might think are one and the same, but according to Sony Chief Executive Kenichiro Yoshida, Sony are riding a wave of internal cultural change. Formerly, he says, there were a patchwork of conglomerates. Now, they're a united entity. Their various empires closer connected, and thus the production of projects such as future movie tie-ins and video games could theoretically come to fruition in a more streamlined process, evolving beyond the lengthy development cycle of the Uncharted movie. You don't need me to tell you that Warner Bros. Houses huge movie franchises in its vaults. Harry Potter and DC Comics are a fraction of the household names under their command. Bringing development teams that are licensed to make games under these franchises makes perfect sense for Sony if they're looking to continue down their path of video game movie tie-ins. There is a potential fly in the ointment though. Imran Khan also tweeted that it's likely Warner Bros. Discovery would retain their intellectual property to subsequently license for a fee after selling off their studios. Should this be the case, and say hypothetically Sony purchased Rocksteady, they'd also need to acquire the license to use DC intellectual property in any future titles. And let's be clear, if Sony wishes to get their money's worth when they next purchase a video game developer, they'll need to acquire both the talent and the globally recognized intellectual property. Otherwise, acquisitions of this magnitude risk being supremely unprofitable. Licensing intellectual property isn't an alien concept to Sony, of course. While media companies all over the world are competing to saturation point in the streaming market, Sony are notably absent. Instead of contributing to the $140 billion projected investment on streaming content in 2022, Sony instead are selling content, not buying. In fact, they've recently sold $3 billion worth of streaming rights to streaming platforms, giving those platforms exclusive license until 2026 to stream their movies once theater runs end. Time will tell how shrewd a move this arms dealer approach to streaming will be for Sony, but with Netflix's reported drop in subscribers, it's looking like a rosy strategy for the moment. Bringing Warner Bros. Film franchises under Sony's umbrella presents perfect opportunities then to reaffirm this strategy too. In a world where streaming platforms are spending exorbitant sums of money with no guarantee of ever making a profit, licensing presently seems the most viable. The point of view is supported by Sony Interactive Pictures turning a record profit in 2021, bolstered in large part to the success of Spider-Man No Way Home. Clearly, Sony knows which side of their bread is buttered, and despite the questionable Bungie acquisition, and after years in the doldrums as a disjointed entity of media divisions, they appear to have found focus on the direction they need to take. Wedbush Securities Managing Director Michael Pachter himself, a well-established market analyst, reckons Warner Bros. Games' portfolio of studios would be a perfect fit for Sony too, but only if the rights to license the DC Comics franchise back to the studios was included in the inevitably huge price tag. In his words, Warner Bros. Interactive isn't worth full price without the rights to exploit the DC Comics franchise. As a final point, I'm compelled to reflect on whether these endless mergers and acquisitions are good for the video game industry as a whole. We appear to be hurtling towards a future where only a handful of companies own everything in the world. For video games, this could go many ways. Maybe we'll see investment and widespread adoption into cool future tech like VR, or perhaps platform exclusivity with every game release will become the norm. In an industry where content is king, overdependence on hardware might fade away. We're already seeing it happen with streaming services, so let's hope the game industry doesn't follow suit. That's all for now. If you enjoy what you saw, please hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, now is a great time to subscribe. We upload brand new videos every single day. After subscribing, don't forget to enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you next time, right here on GamingBolt.